Infinity Games Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Infinity Games Podcast. This is episode 7?
7.
Yay! My name is
Lucky
KelryxsKing.
number 7.
7's my favorite number, man.
Like, actually?
Yeah. Like, no joke. I fucking love the number 7. I don't know why.
Because it's lucky, right?
Sure.
Sure. Okay, well, that's KelryxsKing, because I
Yay.
just cut him off saying how lucky 7 is, and I am Jukeboxhero.
Yay! Yeah,
So in this
that guy.
episode... yeah, that guy.
That guy.
God, I tried to do that back in the day. Just try and make an internet personality, just, I'm that guy.
Oh, God.
The douchiest kind of guy. No.
Perfect.
But on this episode, we're going to tell you the games that we've been playing. We're going to give you a hidden gem. And then we're going to analyze Studio Ghibli covers, DVD covers. And we're just gonna kind of tell you what we think the movie could have been about based solely on what the cover is.
Whether we've seen it or not, because Jukebox has seen almost every Ghibli movie under the sun. I have seen...
There's about 4 I haven't seen.
Yeah, whereas there are about 4 that I have seen. No, few more than that, but...
The only reason I haven't seen those other 4 too is because I have a rule, and so does my girlfriend, that we have to watch them, like, either in a theater or an actual physical release.
That's fair.
No torrents or downloads or bootlegs or anything like that.
That's good. That way you get the best possible experience. There's no fuckery or anything.
Yeah. Though, I do have a bootleg of Howl's Moving Castle.
I love that thing.
Yeah, I found that for like $2 at a secondhand store. And it took me a while to kind of realize it was a bootleg because they did a really good job on it. What really gave it away is the cover image on the DVD had nothing that said Disney or Buena Vista Home Video or anything like that.
Yeah, that's kind of
and I know Disney always puts that stuff on the disc.
Yeah, for sure.
It's time for games we've been playing. The segment where we give insight on what we've been playing. New or old, good or bad. Here is what we've been playing.
All right, well, we'll kick it off. What have you been playing, Jukebox?
Well, I played a little bit of the Pinball Arcade again.
Nifty.
Just maybe 3 games or so. And I'm kind of proud because I got the highest score on Pinbot, which is one of my favorite tables.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So the original high score was kind of like the one that's set automatically when you turn on the machine or whatever.
Yeah.
And I beat it by about 2 million points. So I had 4 million and something.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It was kind of weird though because I was playing on the Wii U gamepad at the time.
Mm-hmm.
While Kari was playing Persona 5. And it's kind of hard to see an entire pinball machine on that tiny screen.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I did a lot better than I usually do. So I kind of wonder if maybe there's a latency issue between the gamepad and the TV when I normally play on the TV.
There very well could be, or it could be something similar to just a smaller screen. Because, like, for example, when I'm playing Destiny, I play on a 27-inch computer monitor. And if I go from that, if Hylexa Queen, my girlfriend, if she goes to bed and I go out in the living room and I go to play again, like, I suck shit immediately because everything just feels 10 times slower to me. So
yeah.
It could also be just a difference in screen size, but going from a TV to a Wii U gamepad might be a little bit extreme in that sense.
When you go from a smaller monitor to a TV, usually in the first place, monitors don't have many special settings beyond, contrast, brightness, RGB type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With a TV, a lot of them will have anti-aliasing and black levels and about 1 million different modes and settings that could slow down the video output.
Yeah.
Because when it receives the signal, it'll have to go through all these other little things that adjust the video before it gets on the screen.
Gotcha.
So that introduces a lot of latency.
Okay, well, I mean, that's all German to me, but makes sense.
Yeah, so if anyone has a similar issue, usually modern TVs will have a game mode, and I highly suggest you just go to game mode because it turns off the majority of those extra settings.
Yeah. I might have to start trying that.
But yeah, so I did Pinball Arcade.
Yep.
And then I was playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
For real?
Yeah, for real, because we were talking about it last podcast, and I got super hyped about it.
Lovely. And?
I kind of had, first off, I kind of had to, like, smack myself, because I was so busy, and, like, when I'm not doing stuff, I have this constant feeling of dread, like I should be doing something, or I should, like, make something for me to do. There's always shit you can do. But, like, I was just kind of like, fuck yourself, sit down and play a video game for once. Because for like several months on like the other podcast I'm on, Podcast TBD, we'll do a similar thing, games we've been playing, and I'll just be like, yeah, Pokemon Go and Duel Links every goddamn time.
Yep.
But my god, Symphony of the Night. So I am playing it on the Xbox. It's Konami Classics Volume 1.
It's on there?
Yeah, it's a small collection. It has Frogger, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and Super Contra, the arcade version.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, the way I'm playing it is they actually have an enhanced version. And it's kind of just a form of anti-aliasing. So you know how PS1 graphics are crazy blocky and whatnot?
Yeah.
It just kind of smooths everything out.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, so I've been playing it like that. Mostly because playing old games on an HD TV, like 240p, does not go well.
No, typically they look even worse.
Yeah, because especially since most modern TVs, they don't go that low. They'll have scaling for 480p, but not 240.
That's
so
why, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that's why if you have like a brand new like HD LED TV or whatever, and you try to plug your NES into it, and you try to play like Duck Hunt or something, it doesn't work. Like it works, but the gun doesn't register properly because the TV isn't designed to handle that kind of shit. It's way too advanced. Because I remember when I got an NES, like my second NES, like back when I first started getting into collecting more, and that was the first thing that me and Jukebox tried to do. We wanted to play Duck Hunt, and it did not work worth a damn on my TV.
Yeah, which made me sad.
Yeah, but oh well.
The reasoning's a little different. It doesn't have to do with 240p.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way modern TVs refresh. So way back in the day when you had a CRT, they ran at 60 hertz. Modern TVs still are at 60 hertz, but that's how many times it refreshes a second. When an old TV would refresh, it would do it line by line.
Gotcha.
So, as it refreshed, your target was a white box, and the light gun just had a little sensor in it, and if it was in line with the only part of the TV that was actually emitting white light, it would detect it and it would count as a hit. So because it refreshes line by line, you kind of have a bit more time to register that hit. With a modern TV, it refreshes the entire screen at once. So it's like a flash and it's gone. That's the biggest reason why light guns don't work on modern TVs.
Gotcha.
At least retro light guns. I don't know if there's even modern light guns anymore.
No, I don't know. We'd have to look into that, I think, because I couldn't tell you.
The closest thing you have is like Link's crossbow training, but that's still just the Wii mote and like the Wii sensor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, so Symphony of the Night, I checked right before we started recording. I'm 35% done. And I don't know if you have to be like 100% done to beat the game, or if it's kind of like Super Metroid where like I beat the game and I only had 75% completion.
Well, there are a couple of ways to go about it. The percentage in Symphony of the Night is based on how much of the castle you've explored.
Oh, okay.
So based on that, I believe you're a little over halfway through the first castle. And then you'll get to
first.
You'll get to the quote unquote final boss, and it'll go one of two ways. Either you're gonna have specific
spoilers.
I'll keep it as spoiler free as possible. I'll leave it up to you to do what you want, but pretty much the way it works is if you have certain items equipped when you fight the final boss, the castle will flip itself upside down, and then you get to go through it again in reverse.
Yeah.
Which is super
I kind
fun.
of figured, because there's actually Xbox achievements in this version, and one of them's like the reverse castle, get 280% and shit. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because, I reached the guy where you can buy stuff from, and I bought Dracula's castle map, and it looks very small.
It does. Go
ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say once you have all of the movement abilities and everything, like the double jump and all that shit, then it's like pathetically small. Like you can get from point A to point B in no time.
Yeah, because, I saw that and I was thinking, like, this game seems really small, but at the same time, I know there's going to be some reverse shit, and I know there's secret rooms and stuff, so I don't know how it compares to Super Metroid, but just from what I can see right now, it seems tiny in comparison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it actually is kind of beyond me.
It's not actually that tiny, because like you'd think that the castle going upside down or whatever wouldn't change very much, but it actually makes the entire, like, it's a completely new experience. Like it it's actually, honestly, I was very surprised the first time I played through Symphony of the Night, because I was like, oh, everything's upside down, whoop-de-fucking-do. But suddenly, like, things that you didn't notice on your first playthrough are suddenly like, there's suddenly like pitfalls and shit that weren't there that were, just standard holes in the roof that didn't matter, and like all this other shit. It's actually super cool.
I know. I kind of can't wait, but at the same time, this game, it like grabs me and then it loses me. So like at the very beginning there, even getting through that first boss where it's like the demon carrying the bird thing with the spear.
Mm-hmm.
I had to redo that like 12 times.
Yeah,
like I had to go back, grind, level up once, find a short sword, and it was a huge bitch, is about as much as I can say. But it almost lost me at that point, because I was getting frustrated, and it was like, if this is what happens first thing in the game, is the rest of the game going to be a grind fest? Is it going to be this ridiculously hard?
It really isn't.
Yeah, like the answer I could come up with, even just playing, an hour and a half past that, is it's not as difficult as that first battle, but I still think that's a real kick in the teeth for the first big boss to hit. It kicks your ass over and over.
It's kind of unfair, because it's like you play the game and it's like the game does, that's like the second time the game does you, or no, that's the third time the game does you real dirty. It's like you start the game and you're one-shotting everything, and then death is like, lol, fuck you, I'm gonna take all your shit. And then you're you're super weak. You got a little dagger and you're like, nah, fuck me. And then you kill something, it drops a new weapon, you're like, holy shit, that's awesome. You get the red rust or whatever, you put it on, and it's fucking worse than your little starting knife. And then, it has longer range, but it's like fucking 3 times slower. So the first weapon drop you get that you get excited about is fucking garbage, and then you get to that first boss, and he kicks your ass. Like, the game definitely fucking puts you through the ringer. But
no fucking kidding.
Once you get past that, like, honestly, it's probably one of my favorite games of all time. It's so fucking good.
So, I never used the red rust. I didn't really care that it had a bit of a longer reach. I just kind of stuck to the short sword. But what I'm finding in this game, like especially comparing it to Super Metroid, is there's not a lot to do in it. Like, I go through masses of rooms where there is nothing. And, getting all these candlesticks and everything, I'm addicted to, like, hitting them and getting the hearts. But, like, my hearts are always full. There's no challenge to retaining enough hearts for your special weapon. The save points are easy enough to get to, so you can redo your health if you don't have a potion or you can't find a wall chicken.
Wall chicken.
In fucking Super Metroid, there's always at least enemies to fight or better platforming.
Yeah.
Like the entirety of this Castlevania Symphony of the Night, it feels really loose to me. Like the jumping and even the moving and getting fucking knocked back when you get hit, all that stuff just feels like a relic of the past or something.
I agree. Symphony of the Night definitely had, in my opinion, it definitely had a harder focus on exploration, whereas Super Metroid, I feel, focused a lot more on combat.
See, I really disagree, because with Super Metroid, I mean, every single area, like main area, like Castlevania Symphony of the Night has main areas, but like every single area had several secrets, and you had to use your weapons to find them. So like first you had to explore to find your weapon, and then you had to explore to use it. Whereas Symphony of the Night, most of the time, the things that you're finding are just like max hearts, max health up, or whatever. Sometimes a weapon, but I mean, you don't get extra movement stuff as often, and it's not as essential, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you were talking about points where there's like rooms with spikes and you need the spike armor type thing.
Mm-hmm. I loved that.
But like even beyond all of this, like the atmosphere in Symphony of the Night, I don't feel any sort of urgency or fear or anything like I would in Super Metroid.
Yeah. So sorry, go ahead.
No, I actually had one last thought, and that's, when did Symphony of the Night come out, and when did Super Metroid come out?
I mean, Symphony of the Night was a PlayStation 1 game, so it definitely came out after Super Metroid, but just give me a sec and I'll look it up here.
I'm getting phoned, one moment. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
So, did you find the years?
Yes. Super Metroid came out 11 days before I was born. It came out on April 18th, 1994.
Jesus.
And Symphony of the Night came out almost exactly 3 years later. It came out March 20th, 1997.
Okay, so the way games were developed back then, we can almost assume that Symphony of the Night was kind of a rip-off or copy or whatever, because every Castlevania game beforehand was very strictly like a 2D platformer.
Yeah.
So I wonder when the term Metroidvania became a thing. Because it almost bugs me after playing Symphony of the Night, because, I mean, I guess these two, series are kind of the two biggest examples of that kind of gameplay, but at the same time, I mean, I feel like Metroid did it better, and it did it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. The term just feels a little weird now.
It does. When you really think about it.
Yeah. It's like first Metroid back in like 86 or 87 or whatever still had the same gameplay, but that's back when Castlevania was still level-based platforming.
Yeah. Me personally, I think, like, in conclusion, if you have to choose between either playing Symphony of the Night or Super Metroid, I'd definitely play Super Metroid first. Also, simply because it came out first. So I feel like if you play that one, because I stand by Symphony of the Night. I think it's probably one of the best games ever made. Like, it might fall short in a couple of areas, but, like, I've never played Super Metroid, for example, so, like, I'm biased towards Symphony of the Night, whereas Jukebox has beaten Super Metroid, so he's more biased towards Super Metroid, right? But as he's the only one who's played both, it gives it a hard... it's hard to find the common ground on it,
How about this? Play both.
Yeah, do that.
They're both fucking amazing.
Yes.
And we're going to move on to what Kelryx has been playing.
Oh, God. So... I've been playing Duel Links a lot more than normal. Yugi Moto came back as a random appearance duelist, so I was trying to farm him as much as possible, and I got pretty lucky. I got 3 Beta the Magnet Warriors, I got 3 Alpha the Magnet Warriors, and the second last time I dueled him, I got a Prismatic Valkyrion.
Yum.
So I shit my pants pretty hard when that happened. I was like, oh my god, thank you. But unfortunately, I didn't get Gamma, which sucks, but hopefully next time he comes around, I'll farm him out for a Gamma and maybe get lucky.
Hell yeah.
So I was stoked because I actually made a really good like Magnet Warriors deck, it's pretty dang consistent, which is nice. There are a couple of cards I wish I had in there. Like, I wish I had one more Delta of the Magnet Warrior, but I gotta wait for the card trader so I can buy one. I also wish I had a Gamma, just in case I lost my Deltas, and then that way I still have a way to get Valkyrion onto the field. But so I did that, and I've actually been having a lot of fun with it lately, surprisingly, even though my card draw luck is still hot fucking trash. And so right now in that, I'm trying to get an enemy controller from Kaiba, but it's not going well, so hopefully he smartens up and drops it for me soon.
I didn't know that's how you got the enemy controller, because I still don't have one of those.
Yeah, he can drop it at either level 30 or level 40, and to my knowledge, that's the only way to get one, is to just get lucky and have him drop them.
Okay, because I have never... Oh, I guess I shouldn't say never, because I've had to, but I've only played against Kaiba like 4 times.
Yeah, he's tricky, because he's got like enemy controllers and shit, and he's got Vorse Raider, which is a problem, because it's a 1900 attack monster. Yeah, it's not fun. You really gotta have like a deck ready for him.
Yeah. No kidding.
It kind of sucks. But I think Vorse Raider is a level 40 Kaiba thing. The times I've dueled him on level 30, he doesn't pull it out. So if he does have one, then I never see it, but he definitely has them when he's at level 40, which is a problem. And then the other game that I picked up lately, and I'm gonna rant because I'm salty about this. It made me mad. It's a really minor thing when you look at it in like the grand spectrum of things, but it pissed me off. So I recently picked up Dragon Quest VIII on the 3DS again.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you know where this is going. So I bought that back when it first came out because I'd played Dragon Quest VIII on the PS2. I'd loved the ever-living shit out of it. It is honestly probably one of the best RPGs ever made. Like
turn-based,
I just
grind-a-thon best.
Like, I don't grind in RPGs. I hate grinding in RPGs. Like, I'm playing Pokemon. That's the main reason that I can't beat a Nuzlocke to save my life, because I hate grinding. I love grinding in Dragon Quest VIII. That shit's satisfying as hell. So anyways, and like, I love this game so much. I said to my girlfriend the other day, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to start a new game. And she was like, why? You haven't even beaten it. And I'm like, well, after I beat it. And she's like, okay, well, what's going to be different? I'm like, I'm going to play through barehanded. I'm going to only level up fisticuffs. I'm going to see what happens.
Oh, great.
So, anyways, here's where my rant starts. And it has to do with experience. Because I just noticed this, and I don't know why. It lit a fire inside me. I got really fucking angry about it. So, right now, I'm grinding on Slime Hill. And, like, so the thing is, you find metal slimes throughout the game, right? And they drop stupid amounts of experience, but their defense is so high that you either need specific skills to damage them, or you have to get lucky and hit a critical. So the most experience you can get from a single enemy in Dragon Quest VIII is 30,100 experience, which comes from Metal King slimes. So I'm just like farming away on Slime Hill, which is the easiest place to get them to spawn. I'm just farming away. And then I noticed something. I'm like, my character's levels are all over the place. Like, my hero is at 83, Yangus is at 88, like, Mori and Red are both at, like, 81, and then Angelo's at, I think he just hit 80, and Jessica's at 79. Like, Jessica's just way down there. So I'm like, what the fuck? Has she been, like, dead forever? Like, has she been dead during, like, a lot of major boss fights or something? So I go into my status screen, and I took pictures of this, so I'll show you the next time I see you, Jukebox, just to kind of, like, show you how fucking ridiculous it is. But, so, in most RPGs, you can see your character's experience totals, like, all of the experience they've garnered throughout the entirety of the game. Because, like, I know you can do it in Pokemon, I know you can do it in Dragon Quest, I know you can do it in most Final Fantasy games. So, I go into that, and I look at Yangus, who's my highest level character. He's level 88 right now, and he has a grand total of 53 million experience earned. And I'm like, shit, that's a lot. So I'm like, okay, well then Jessica must be in like the 40s or something. She must be at like 48 or something. This makes no sense why she's 9 levels lower. So I go and look at hers and just take a wild fucking guess what her experience is at.
53 million.
Fucking right it is. I don't fucking understand. Like, why? Why is one character 9 levels fucking higher? It makes no sense, especially when he's like the single strongest character in the game. He hits the hardest, he's got the most health, and his special moves are complete bullshit. And yet, what does Jessica have going for her? She's the weak, wimpy mage. Like, that's it. That's all she's got. Her whip moves aren't really that special. Her sex appeal moves aren't really that special, and her fucking stave moves are it's like whoop-de-doo, a little more magic. Like, she's 100% a pure mage. You'd think if anything she'd be the highest leveled character because she needs the extra HP and shit.
They took one of the worst fucking things and made it like a mandatory part of the game. Like fucking Pokemon, even fucking anytime in Pokemon, all 6 of my fucking Pokemon, I want them to be like the exact same level. It's like an OCD fucking thing. Like, this game, fuck. They're just making it like impossible not to have characters at different levels.
Exactly. And here's the part that, because for a second I was like, oh, well, no, this kind of thing happens in other games. But it makes sense in other games. For example, if I'm trying to level up a fucking Caterpie, and it like, because Pokemon does this too, different Pokemon have different experience caps. The ones that stick in my head the most are like any legendary versus Azumarill. Now, like Azumarill, if you want to get her from level 1 to level 20 to level 100, she requires 800,000 experience. 800,000. If I want to level up, like, if I want to get like a Charizard or something to level 100, he, I believe, takes like 970,000. If I want to level up an Entei to level 100, he requires 1.2 million experience. But there's a big fucking difference. There's a big difference between a fucking legendary Pokemon and a fucking Azumarill.
Yeah.
Right? There's a huge difference. And anybody who knows anything about competitive Pokemon battling, I know Azumarill's a fucking god with its fairy typing, huge power, and play rough. I know that. I'm not stupid. But there's still a big difference between a fucking Entei and a goddamn Azumarill. Whereas in Dragon Quest VIII, there's no fucking need for it. Why are all the characters' experiences, their levels, out the fucking window? Why is everybody different when there's no difference? If I'm using Mori or Angelo, there's no fucking difference, except, Angelo has a little bit more magic. And if I use Red over Angus, it's like I'm trading power for speed. If I'm using Jessica over somebody else, whoopee, a little more magic. It makes no goddamn sense. I don't understand it, and it made me fucking salty. Because I'm going to be grinding this game, and I'm going to have Yangus at 99, I'm going to have the hero at 94, and Jessica's going to be like just getting into the mid-80s.
I'm just sitting back here eating popcorn, listening.
I know, it's entertaining, isn't it? But like,
Kelryx.
I don't...
Kelryx, take some deep breaths with me. Blow directly into the microphone so people get the point. That's such fucking horseshit, dude. I mean, I have to assume there's some sort of balancing. Like maybe during development they were like, okay, if they're all at the same level, this is just a little too OP, this is just a little too much magic or some shit. But at the same time, fucking 5 levels can't make that much of a goddamn difference.
No.
Yeah.
But it's also, and the part that made me mad about it is it's only noticeable at later levels. Throughout the entirety of the game, it's like you start out Dragon Quest VIII with the hero and Yangus.
Right.
And they're both level 1. So you get them up to, like, you'll probably have them at level, probably around, if you grind, you could maybe have them as high as 9 or 10 by the time you get Jessica. If you go through a little more casually and you don't go out of your way to level up, then you're probably going to be at about level 8 like I was. I believe Jessica joins you at level 7, unless you're like ridiculously over leveled, and then I'm pretty sure the game will compensate you a little bit.
Right.
But, so, if you're playing through normally like I was, she'll join you one level under. And for the majority of the game, that's where she'll be, assuming she doesn't die during a fight or something, which never happened for me. If anybody was dead, it was Yangus, because he was out of fucking MP and he was useless at that point. So that just hits it home even more. Like, why is the one who is most likely dead more often a higher fucking level? So it's like, all throughout, like, the fucking 10s to the 20s to the 30s, 40s, 50s, their levels are all within 1 or 2 of each other. Like, at the very most, they're 2 away. So why is it all of a sudden now I'm in higher levels and she's fucking 9 levels behind? Like, it doesn't make fucking sense. It really doesn't.
Exponential
she doesn't learn any more
experience growth. It's the same kind of thing in Pokemon Go. So, like, my mom is almost level 31. I'm at level 29. But there's like a 500,000 experience difference between us.
Right? But that's the other weird part. It's like her and Yangus need the same amount of experience to level up, and they've garnered the same amount of experience the whole time. So either Yangus should be level 79 or Jessica should be 88. Like, it's just one of those things. It doesn't make sense, and it's like,
it's stupid.
It doesn't matter.
Fucking heads at Square Enix.
Well, yeah, that's just it. It's like, you can beat Dragon Quest at like level 62 if you're prepared for the last boss, because the last boss, to my knowledge, is no fucking joke. That's why I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna hit level 99 and just be a god and walk through him. Like, yeah. So where I'm at right now, it doesn't fucking matter, and I don't care. It's just one of those things. I'm like, this makes no fucking sense. Why?
Peeved. Super peeved.
Yeah, it just, because, like I said, I'm going to get Yangus to level 99, everybody else is going to hit 99, and then Jessica's going to need, like, another 2 hours of grinding to hit 99. Like, it's fucking annoying. Anyways, my rant's over. I just thought that was bullshit. I just needed to share that with everybody.
So, running theme, we bitch because we care. Go play this game.
Exactly.
Oh, God. You know, we kind of unofficially deemed this the anime podcast. So I think it's fair to say, a little factoid, Akira Toriyama, he is the creator of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. He also does all of the art for Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior.
Yep.
Fucking stick that in your knowledge pipe and smoke it.
That's why if you ever pick up a Dragon Quest game and you're like, why does this guy look like Goku? That's because Goku's designer designed that guy. I won't get into it, but it's pretty standard. It's like, if a manga artist gets popular and they get serialized and their shit runs for a good long while, the next time they do something, that art style is ingrained into their fucking DNA at that point. It's like,
good luck doing anything different.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if and when One Piece ends, God, I hope not, but at the same time, it kind of needs to one day.
I have a good example.
If One Piece, yeah, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure his name is Ken Akamatsu. He's the guy who created Love Hina. He also did AI Love and Negima. They all look the fucking same.
Yep.
They're all fucking rom-com harems.
Yep.
Fucking like pioneered that.
Yep.
But that's like all he goddamn does.
Another good example recently is you know what Beelzebub is, right? So Beelzebub ended, and then the author started a new one. It's called Hungry Marie, and I've been reading it, but it's kind of it's not grabbing me so far. I'm hoping it kind of speeds up, but it's the same thing. The main character looks exactly like the main character in Beelzebub. The main heroine looks exactly like the main heroine in Beelzebub, and it's just that. It's like, so if One Piece ends, then, and if, assuming he's not 94 years old at that point, assuming Ichiro Oda does another manga after that, it's gonna look damn near identical.
Yeah.
It'll be completely fucking different, but it's like, the main character's probably gonna look like Luffy or Zoro, the main girl's probably gonna look exactly like Nami. Like, that's how it is. It gets ingrained in your DNA after a certain point, right?
And I mean, it's fine having an art style and sticking to it, but when your characters look to, like, if someone didn't read the mangas, if you showed them the two characters and they were kind of indistinguishable, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm. That's why the manga artists tend to give them, like, specifically different haircut styles and stuff like that, just to give them their own sense of self. But
so
I forget, did you have a hidden gem you wanted to talk about, or was it just me?
you? And I think this would be a very good segue, since you're talking about One Piece.
Exactly.
Fucking sticking to the anime theme here.
Dun, dun, dun. So the hidden gem, I've mentioned this in a couple of past podcasts. I've also talked about the embarrassing way that I got this game, which I'll give you the short version. But the hidden gem I'm talking about is a Wii game called One Piece Unlimited Adventure. It came out in North America January 2008. It was developed by, again, Barian, who maybe Jukebox has heard of them. I haven't. Okay, so I don't know what else they've done, if they have done anything else. And it was published by Namco Bandai, because I believe Bandai owned the rights. They didn't own the rights, but they had some of the rights to American One Piece at that point in time. So, of course, they're the publisher that you're going to have to go through.
Right.
So, to short story this, the way I got this game was Jukebox and I have a couple of game stores near the city we live in, and we used to go there a lot and just, see what was happening. But we were teenagers. We didn't have, like, stacks of cash to buy all these cool games and stuff, right? We just liked looking, and if we had $20, maybe we could get a Mega Man game or something on NES or whatever.
If we're lucky.
So, yeah, if we're lucky. So we go one time with our buddy, and he had a job at the time. I didn't. Jukebox didn't. But Buddy did, and I find this game, and I've wanted this One Piece game for I've known about it for like 4 years at this point. I'm like, I need this game, and I'm like on my knees begging him to buy this game for me, and I'm like, you keep it in your possession, you keep it at your house, I will buy it back off you as soon as possible. So 15 minutes go by, and finally he caves. So that's the embarrassing story about how I begged my friend to buy me a video game. And I did pay him back. It took me a couple of weeks of, like, chores around the house to get the $40 to pay him back, but worth it. So
tell me,
we are a little bit.
I remember
Sorry?
when you got this, because I was there, and I remember
Yep.
you being excited as shit, and I remember going over and seeing you play it, but I can't fucking remember anything about the gameplay.
Okay, so the thing that I love about it is, and again, if you know anything about One Piece, you know that it centers around the main character, Monkey D. Luffy, and his pirate crew, which is called the Straw Hat Pirates. So, in this game, one of the best parts about it is you have 8 playable characters. You have Luffy, Zoro, Usopp, Nami, Sanji, Chopper, Nico Robin, and Frankie the Cyborg. Now, when this game came out, nobody knew who Frankie was, because he hadn't been localized yet. Like, he was just popping up in the Japanese, like, he was just starting to get some traction in, like, the manga and the anime in Japan, right? So it was super cool that he was in it, but he's also left off of the cover art and everything because nobody knew who he was unless you kept up with, like, the translations and shit online. So each of the characters has their own move pool, and they don't just start off with a full move pool. It's like when you start the game, like, you start with Luffy and you gotta go find the rest of your characters. He literally has one punch. That's all he's got. He's just got a move called Gum. One punch. Jesus fuck. So he's only got one move called Gum Punch. So it's literally like right, straight, right, straight, right, straight. And that's all you're doing to hit the first few enemies you run into. But the cool way that the level up system works in this game is as you use the moves, they level up. And as they level up, you unlock new moves. So you just hit guys with your standard A button attack. Your Gum Punch levels up to level 2, and then you get the second part of the combo. You level that, you level the second move you get up to level 2, then you get the third part of the combo, and then you have like a standard 3-hit combo. And then you start getting, like, it'll show you, it'll be like in the air A button or whatever, like an aerial attack, it'll say you need the third part of your combo at level 3, you need your dodge attack at level 2 or whatever. So you have to keep experimenting and using different moves to get more moves. And it's the same for every character. They all have their own move pools. They all have specific requirements to upgrade said move pools. So initially you'd think, oh, well, why don't I just use nobody but Luffy and just level him up to the max right at the beginning, and then I'll just like stomp through everybody. Well, you can't do that because the bosses are designed in a way that certain characters are better against certain bosses. Like, there are secret bosses at the end of the game. Like, you can go and fight Whitebeard if you want, but he'll kick the shit out of you. But if you watch the YouTube videos, almost everybody that fights him uses Nami of all characters. They don't use Luffy, they don't use Zoro, they use Nami because her dodging attack and her aerial attacks are OP as fuck when it comes to Whitebeard. So you have to practice all your characters, you have to play all your characters, and it's like, if one dies, you switch to another one immediately. If all of them die, then you get a game over. So there's a lot of trial and error. There's a really cool crafting system. Like, it actually encourages you to go like fishing and like go around with a bug net, and it's because like you're gonna get to a part in the game where it's like, hey, we need a pickaxe to break this boulder so we can move on to the next area. So you got to go and find, so many pieces of wood and so many rocks to make a pickaxe, and then you'll get to another area where it's like, we need to make the pickaxe stronger, so then you got to go and mine like certain ores and shit to upgrade the pickaxe. And then it's also the same if you want to make potions or antidotes or whatever. Like, you got to go hunting for the bugs and the fruits and the flowers and all this to be able to make your shit. So
sounds expensive.
There's a lot to do. It is. There's a lot to it. It's a long game, but it's honestly, you feel fucking good about it.
Yeah.
Like, I will admit, there are a couple of times where I was playing through it and I'd get to a part and I'm like, man, fuck, I gotta go all the way back and try and find one more of this bug so I can get through this area. And it's like, when that happens, it's a bit of a bummer. But then you get into the new area and you're like, worth it. So
I kind of remember you playing.
I could rant. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's up there.
So
it's a wonderful game.
Didn't they like re-release it on PS3 or something? Or is that a different game?
What happened? It was a different one. What happened is the unlimited quote-unquote series of the One Piece games is actually really big. There was Unlimited Adventure, then there was Unlimited Cruise 1, Unlimited Cruise 2, both of which never got localized. They got localized in fucking Europe and Australia, but they never came to North America, which is bullshit and a half. And then they got Unlimited Cruise SP2, which was on the 3DS, which was both of the Unlimited Cruise games in one game, which was awesome. And then what we finally got was we got Unlimited World Red on PS3 and PS Vita, which was after the time skip. And I bought it and I played it and I love it, but I'm also sad because it starts you out with a full move set. Like, you have full combos, so it kind of takes out the fun in it takes out a lot of the fun in switching around your characters and having to have variation and everything, which kind of bummed me out. I never beat the game because unfortunately the changes they made to it made it a little bit more boring. It wasn't as exciting to have to level up and get new moves and all this other stuff, right? It's still a perfectly good game. If you find it for PS3 on sale or whatever, definitely pick it up. You're probably going to have a great time playing it. It's just, if you play Unlimited Adventure and then you go to Unlimited World Red, like, it's a big difference.
So, Unlimited Adventure, how rare would you say this game is?
I've only seen one copy of it ever.
I'd call that a hidden gem.
It's hard to find. It's really hard to find. If you find it and it's less than $50, fucking throw your credit card at the person. Because if you wanted like a brand new sealed copy of that game, it's at least $200 on eBay. I'm pretty sure even like just standard games of it probably go for over 100. I mean, hell, I'm gonna look it up right now. Why not? Yeah, it's not like I'm doing it. Like, it's not easy. It's not easy to get a hold of.
While you're looking that up, I'm just going to kind of introduce our main topic. So,
yes, please do.
What we're going to do is we've picked out 4 Ghibli movies. Actually, I had a Twitter poll, but it was completely tied up, so we were like, fuck it, and just picked 4 that we liked. If you want to get involved with us, we do Twitter polls, and we ask for your input on Twitter and Facebook, so if you want to, like, hit us with some info, stuff that you want us to talk about, fucking do it there. But we picked out 4 Ghibli movies. We're going to look at the North American covers. We're going to give a little description for them for people who are only listening to this, not watching or anything. And we are just going to kind of judge the movie based on its cover. Like, if we think it's going to be good, and then we're going to kind of decipher what it's about. To be fair, we have seen 2 of the movies. The other 2 we haven't. But we're going to go into this with the mindset that we haven't seen these movies.
Also, fuck me, I stand corrected. You can get copies of it on eBay for, I'm seeing as little as $10, but I wouldn't really trust. I honestly, I wouldn't really trust it if it was any less than $30.
Yeah.
But I am seeing there's a factory sealed one that's going on eBay right now for $77. But I mean,
are you looking at sold listings?
I am.
Okay.
There was one that sold for $77. There are some that sold at $30, one that sold at $15, and then if I go to ones that are currently available, I'm seeing 21, 38, 28, 40, 47. Like,
you have no excuse.
So it's hit or miss.
Go take in your recyclables or something. Go get some money. Throw it at your computer screen and get a game.
Yes, because it's such a good game, honestly. If you enjoy the One Piece anime or the manga or whatever, even if you're not like a diehard fan like I am, like, I will fight you if you insult it, except Jukebox, but he's an exception. But I will fight you if you don't have a specific solid reason why you hate it. So anyways, but if you've watched the anime, if you liked it, if you read the manga and you enjoy it, definitely, if you find this game, buy the shit out of it. Play the shit out of it, love the shit out of it, and then either tweet at us or comment on Facebook or comment on YouTube and tell me how much you loved it and how right I am.
That was Hidden Gems. Moving on.
That was Hidden Gems. Yay!
So the first one that we're going to look at was Miyazaki's last movie, The Wind Rises. So this is the North American Blu-ray release from Disney, of all people. And just from the cover, you kind of have a blue background with a couple clouds. There are 2 people standing under an umbrella kissing each other. 1 male, 1 female. The female is holding one of those paint trays and painting on an easel. And there is kind of a paper plane flying above them. Kelryx? The fuck do you think this is about?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because it's like, now, disclaimer, this is one of the movies that Jukebox and I saw. It actually had a limited run in North America. We did manage to see it in theaters.
We even traveled to the big city to see it on a bigger screen and whatnot.
Yeah, so, like, we've seen it. Like, I know what it's about, but, like, you see this cover, you get no clue the fuck it's about. Like, if I had to guess, I'd say, like, childhood friends or something.
Yeah. So
I'd say childhood friends. The dude works for a living, and the girls just, like, based on how they're dressed, you have to assume it takes place, not in the 2000s. I'd say, like, maybe 80s at the very latest, probably before that. So, because the man he's wearing a cap. I'd say maybe a fedora, but I think that's a bit of a stretch. He's wearing a long sleeve shirt with the sleeves rolled up. It's tucked into his pants.
He's wearing a belt,
and there's a briefcase laying on the ground, which it could be the girl's, it could be her painting supplies, it could be his. I don't know. So I'd assume, like, he works for a living, and this girl's just, like, chilling at home, like, painting her days away, or maybe she's, because I don't know. It's honestly really hard to fucking tell. Like, all I can assume is the dude works. I can only like, if I had to guess, I'd say that the paper airplane, like, maybe that's, you know, maybe she was like the girl across the street and he threw paper airplanes to her with like notes and shit.
Oh, that'd
like,
be fucking adorable.
Wouldn't it be though?
That'd be like before texting and when your parents won't let you have a phone in the room.
Lol. You get fucking creative.
That fucking tin can telephone don't work with shit. Gotta use paper airplanes.
But that's just it. It's honestly really hard to derive what the movie is about just from the cover.
So, presented just with this cover and the title, The Wind Rises. The wind rises, therefore it pushes this fucking paper airplane up, right? So...
Yeah, and her skirt.
Yeah, a little bit. So, here's my idea, what this could fucking be about.
Oh, please.
Paper airplane competitions. She paints his airplanes, he folds them all up, and he fucking throws them up into the wind. He knows how the fucking wind works. He's a wind whisperer. Motherfucker wins all these goddamn competitions. But this guy and this girl, they were just friends, but he's macking on her. He wants some. That's how these Ghibli movies go, right?
No, you know what he's doing? He's not kissing her, he's whispering in his ear, and he's like, if you fucking paint, if you put lead-based paint on my fucking airplane again, I will cut you. You will not walk away. I will paint my next plane in your goddamn blood, woman. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, that's why the umbrella is white. So that later, when he does stab her, it gets all fucking red.
Because it won't show him killing her. It'll just show him walking to his next competition with a red airplane and a red umbrella. And you fucking know what happened. You know why they're red.
Oh god, this got dark. Ghibli don't get that dark.
Do we want to... No, Ghibli don't get that dark. But, okay.
Let's move on to the...
Should I explain or do we want to quickly quote and tell them what it's actually about, at least for the two that we've seen?
You know what, I'll do it for this one and I'll say it real quick. So, the guy is an airplane designer. The girl is his wife. Oh, that sounded lovely.
I'm sorry.
The idea behind the movie is kind of the struggle between art and war, because this guy, he thoroughly enjoys making or designing planes. It's kind of his art. He's extremely good at it. But they're in World War II Japan, where they're designing planes to be used in the war. So he has that struggle. And then with this girl, she... Should I give a spoiler warning?
Quick spoiler warning. If you don't want it, skip like a minute ahead.
She dies.
From tuberculosis.
Yeah, so that's kind of, ties in with The Wind Rises.
Yes. And the big symbolism part is he knows she's dying. So his airplanes keep failing. They never make it through testing, even though they're great airplanes. They work, but then they fail right at the end. And the last airplane he designs, she dies, and it works.
Yep.
Which is to symbolize, like...
It's his greatest design, and it's used in World War II, and every single last one of them gets destroyed.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. It's really good. Go watch it.
Fucking nothing about paper airplane competitions.
No. We had those in school, though. Good times, good times.
So, the second one we're doing here, Kiki's Delivery Service. Now, we know Disney released this on Blu-ray, DVD, and all that, but we're going back to, I think it was 98 that they released it, the VHS cover from Buena Vista Home Video, the original North American release. Kelryx, why don't you tell them what's on this thing?
I was about to say, can I describe it?
It's a little involved.
So, on the front of the cover, the very first thing you see is there's a girl flying on a broomstick. She's wearing a super plain dress. She's got a bag slung over her shoulders with Those are muffins, right?
I mean, they look like muffins.
Yeah. We're going to call them muffins. And there's a cat, a black cat, hanging off the front of the broomstick. Like, he's about to fall. He's hanging on for dear life. And then under that, like, she's clearly in the air. And then there's just, like, I don't even know why it's there, to be completely honest. But just underneath her, just going along, is a little dorky Where's Waldo kid on a bike. And the bike has, like, a giant airplane propeller coming off the front of it.
Some sort of fandangled flying machine. Reckon?
Yeah. Like, I honestly don't, because again, disclaimer, we have seen this movie, but we're gonna analyze it as if we haven't. So I can't even remember what the fuck his bike is actually for. I don't know why he has a propeller on the front of it. But
he wants to fly.
So just going off of the cover, like, there's a girl on a broomstick. When you hear flying on a broomstick, what's the first thing you think about? Because
witches.
I think witch. Witches. My pretties. Fuck. So, another thing is, she has a black cat for a pet.
Fucking black cat, witches,
Again,
parallels.
It's a standard, it's a standard staple. Right? So, and she's got a bag, she's got muffins. So I'm gonna assume that she's either, I mean, the movie is called Kiki's Delivery Service, so I'm assuming she delivers shit. Otherwise, that's a very, very misleading title. But so now my only question is, and we can't determine this: does she deliver all manners of things, or is she a baker on the side and she delivers her product to the people who order it, or does she? You know, like, there's 100 fucking variables. Like, what does she deliver? Is it just muffins, like what's in her bag on the front of the cover? Does she deliver whatever, as long as you pay her appropriately? I really don't understand what's up with the kid with the fucking airplane propeller on the front of his bike. I don't understand.
Okay, so let me hit you with this idea.
Hit me.
I assume the girl is Kiki. Fucking great deduction skills right there. Her witch mother sent her off with a bag of muffins to be delivered to Satan. Little rituals, you know, they're witches. They gotta keep them happy. Sometimes they like mother's baked goods. Just sometimes he likes their buttered biscuits.
It has, don't be fooled, the muffins have...
Satan likes a muffin top.
The muffins had... Yeah, Satan likes a muffin top, and also the muffins are baked with orphan tears. And the muffins are also baked orphans.
Yeah. So, this little motherfucker on this bike flying machine is trying to steal her fucking cat. Cause the cat's like falling off.
He's like, I'm gonna get that pussy.
Yeah, obviously. Cause, like, you know, witches, they kind of need their familiars. So he's trying to steal that goddamn cat, cause... You know, he's seeing this cat all up in the air, and he's like, oh, that's not safe. I gotta save that kitty. Fucking SPCA or some shit. No, he's with PETA.
He's with PETA?
That's what it's called, right?
Yes. That makes... Spoiler warning, at the end, the cat falls, and it gets shredded to pieces in the airplane propeller.
Oh,
True
God,
story.
these Ghibli movies get so dark. So anyways,
they're so misleading.
The whole point of her delivery service is to get muffins to Satan. This kid is with PETA trying to save this cat who's like dangling off a broom. And she just has no fucks to give because she's so happy.
She's like, I'm going to deliver muffins to Satan.
You want to tell him what this movie's actually about?
Yeah, we'll do that. So pretty much...
I gotta say first, I think my version's better.
I would watch your version. I would probably need therapy after, but I would watch that. But so the actual premise is witches are commonplace in the world of Kiki's Delivery Service. And what happens is, like, to my knowledge, it's been a while since I've seen it.
She moves off to the big city away from her mother's.
Yeah, because once you come of age, you're assigned to a specific city and location, and you're supposed to be the witch of that location. So, like, her mother is the witch of a certain location, and her main occupation is, like, she's an alchemist. Like, she makes, like, potions and remedies and everything for the people who need them. They are good witches.
Yeah, they aren't hateful pieces of shit.
Yeah, they aren't like the warty, I'm gonna steal your kids and cook them in a fire, Hansel and Gretel style. Like, no, like they're good witches. They're there to help people. They're there to make lives easier because they can do shit other people can't. Like, normal people can't be flying around on a broomstick. So Kiki gets assigned to the city, but it's up to her to figure out what she's good at and what she can do. Like, as she's flying to the city at the beginning, she comes across another witch, and this other young witch is like, I'm a fortune teller. I'm going to go to the city and I'm going to be a fortune teller for the people. Whereas Kiki, she doesn't know what she's going to do yet.
Yeah.
So she gets there and she just, I think she like happens across like a bread store or something, and the lady's
Kind of.
like, "Oh, you're a witch. You can fly. Like, can you deliver this for us?" And
yeah, she gets room and board
there
for
begins,
that, pretty much.
Yes. So she becomes the town FedEx, essentially. So I can't remember for the life of me what's actually up with the kid with the propeller on his bike.
So with him, he just kind of happens upon Kiki because he sees her flying, and his whole deal is he actually just wants to fly. So he's trying to make a flying contraption out of his bike with this propeller. And
I'm going to tell you right now, you need upward lift, not forward lift if you want to fly.
I mean, if you put some wings behind that thing, he'd at least, get some air once in a while.
You need ailerons, son.
But, yeah, that's pretty much his whole deal. And then at the end of the movie, it's like a huge heroic scene where she, like, saves him. Because she can fucking fly. Actually, her whole struggle beyond, not knowing what to do is, it's kind of like a belief thing. She has to believe in herself to believe she's a witch kind of thing. So she loses her powers the more, like, depressed she becomes, kind of. And then it's a big deal when she saves him because she kind of gets her powers back.
Yeah. Because, I again, it's been a while since I've actually seen it, but she becomes unable to fly after a little while, doesn't she?
Yeah. And then she can't hear Gigi
like
the cat.
Yeah, because she can hear the cat talk because, again, he's a familiar, right? So... okay, why don't you tell them about the next... So, disclaimer, the next 2 movies we haven't seen. So
if you have seen them, give us, like, the one-sentence summary.
Yeah, like...
Tell us if we got anywhere close.
Yeah, so... Jukebox is going to tell you about the next one that we're talking about.
So, Cat Returns. This is the North American... Disney Blu-ray release cover, and really it's kind of like old-timey London. Like, they got the old street lamps and very elaborate housing, all kind of made
I don't
of,
know what the fuck I'm
like,
looking
bricks
at.
and cobblestone. And then in the foreground, it's a fucking cat in a suit with a top hat. Dapper ass cat.
So it's a bad cover. Honestly,
really
like, it's not good. Like, it's literally like Jukebox said. There's like some old timey houses. They're very elaborate. There's like stone. They're made out of like cobblestones. There's bricks around the windows. It's an old timey street lamp, and there's a cat with a bow tie, a cane, and a top hat. So my main question is he like just a special anthropomorphic cat, or is that like what the whole world is? Is it like some old school Studio Ghibli Zootopia type thing?
So I actually kind of wonder if maybe not quite that, but do all animals appear like this to each other, whereas humans just view them as normal? Could it be some sort of like Toy Story shit?
I suppose it could be. Very well.
Here is my crackpot theory.
Oh god. Does it involve Satan like the other two?
No, this one's actually kind of chill.
Oh, okay, cool.
This is a dapper orange cat. This is the Japanese anime version of the Aristocats.
Oh fuck.
And this picture on the front is from like the end of the movie, where O'Malley gets his shit together and goes and lives with the well-off white cat and its kids.
Riveting.
Right? Fucking, you know how that shit goes. Japan, you know, they kind of latch on and they make everything look anime-like and weird.
Yeah, for sure. So, I'm just trying to like even half-assed assume, because the title is The Cat Returns, which implies that he left at some point for some reason for some amount of time.
Right.
But it's like the cover gives you no indication of who he is, why he left, if there's anybody that he left, or whatever. It's literally just the fucking spiffy-ass cat standing in front of a bunch of houses.
You know what?
At
In
nighttime.
the Aristocats, O'Malley kind of leaves the city for a while when they're in the country trying to save the kittens. And then he returns and he becomes a dapper motherfucker. Yeah, full circle.
Well,
I'm latched onto this, man. Fucking Disney got the rights to release this. It's all fucking making sense now.
I swear to God, after this podcast, I'm going to fucking look up a synopsis, read it real quick, and I'm going to tell you how close you are.
Not close at all.
Not close at all. But I mean, it's just that, like,
you know, doesn't he look
part
kind
of the reason I
sad
haven't. He seems more disinterested to me.
He's kind of got a bit of a furrowed brow or something.
He's got like it's hard to tell if it's a furrowed brow or if it's just their attempt at drawing in a little bit of fur detail. Because it's like, it's hard to tell just by the artwork if he's like got like a bit of a smug smile, if he's upset. His eyes are kind of in a very normal position. It's very hard to tell. It really is. The fact that he has his hat off, in my opinion, could potentially be symbolic somehow. It could be him. We never know. This could be from the picture could have been done from the viewpoint of somebody or something else. Like maybe he's returned to his owners or a family or whatever. And maybe he's like standing in front of the door and he's got his hat off like, oh God. Right? It's honestly super hard to tell. If you guys are having a hard time believing us, like just Google The Cat Returns and just look at it. Like it's not.
You know, I just I looked it up on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read the first paragraph of plot. The story is of a girl named Haru, a quiet and shy high school student who has a suppressed ability to talk with cats. One day, she saved a dark blue cat from being hit by a truck on a busy road. The cat is Loon, Prince of the Cat Kingdom. As thanks, the cats give Haru a gift of catnip and mice, and she is offered the prince's hand in marriage. Her mixed reply is taken as a yes. Nothing like fucking Aristocats.
Fuck me. Yeah, like there goes like out the ballpark. Bitch better be careful because you know, fun fact, male cats have barbed penises. Ow. So I mean, I feel sorry for that girl.
Latched on and it ain't fucking letting go.
That's fucked up, to be completely honest. Like, so now my only question is it like she saved this cat when she was young and he's returning for her hand now because she's of age or something? Or is it just like he was like, I need time to think about this, don't know if I want some human bitch, I'm gonna go, you know, get my fucking wild teenage Vegas years on and then come back for her after I've had my fill? Like, what?
Yeah, fucking I read it's a spin-off of a different Ghibli movie, Whisper of the Heart, just like a single scene where a girl's like imagining stuff, and I vaguely remember her imagining this cat. So maybe the cat returns literally just means that this cat returns to like it exists again. It wasn't just a one-off thing.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Should we move on to the last
Anyways.
one?
Yeah, let's move on to number 4.
So we're looking at the North American DVD release cover from 2005, I think. Palm Poco. So this one...
Oh, am I going first?
Oh, I didn't know. I thought maybe we were still looking for the picture. This one was...
No, I got it.
Okay. This one was directed by Isao Takahata. So he is kind of lovingly referred to as the other guy at Ghibli. So everyone knows Hayao Miyazaki, but the majority of the other films, especially the early ones, so like their first 5 to 10 films kind of, were done by Hayao and Isao. So Pom Poko, this cover, they look like they're on the porch of, a traditional Japanese house with the sliding doors. The doors have holes in them, they're crooked, and it's like 12 tanukis. Fucking raccoon motherfuckers just sitting having a blasty blast in front of this house.
Yeah, if you don't know what a tanuki is specifically, it's a Japanese raccoon dog. And in the mythology, they're able to like transform. They're tricksters.
They have massive nut sacks,
etc. They have gigantic nut sacks.
And I'll say, just from having to find this picture to get Kelryx to look at, they depict them quite largely in the movie.
Nice.
Very full. Very fertile.
Jesus.
So, at the very bottom here, it actually says, a fantastic tale of survival. So I'm going to give you my normal-ass idea, and then I'm going to give you my fucking crackpot idea. So I'm going to assume, because they're kind of mythical beasts or whatever, that this is the last remaining family. And they kind of have to survive as wherever they live is modernizing. Maybe they're tearing down these old traditional Japanese houses, or they're becoming decrepit, and people are not believing in them or something, and they just kind of have to save their way of life and keep people believing in them. That's about as normal an idea as I have.
That's my main I'm wondering if they're like physical beings that are living in these houses or whatever, or living in the forest, or if they're spirits of the houses and shit like that. Like, that's what I'm wondering, because I definitely think you're probably right about like modernizing or whatever, because I can't imagine what else a fantastic tale of survival and like an old beaten up Japanese home. There's not many other parallels you can draw from that, it's
so the tree in the background too, it has fall colors, and they have this kind of box of whatever they harvested in front of them. So maybe a part of the survival is keeping their harvest. Like maybe people are trying to develop on that land or something, and they need their harvest to survive.
Yeah. Preparing for winter and all that.
Do you have any crackpot theories, or should I go ahead with mine?
This is the inside of a tanuki testicle. These fuckers aren't born yet. No, I'm joking. That's like really crackpot.
God,
no, I got nothing, to be completely honest.
Okay, so
like, I don't know. They're all singing and dancing, so I'm assuming either they've come to peace with the fact that they're fucked, or they survived or whatever, got what they wanted, and they're like, "Kumbaya, my lord."
So, fucking gather around the campfire. Let us sing a campfire song. So, what else do we know Tanukis from?
There's a Tanuki in Shaman King, I know that.
No. Think video games.
Nah, son of a bitch. I know in One Piece, like, it's not true, but Chop...
It's super common.
Aw. I got
Mario
nothing. I don't know
Bros.
where
3,
you're going with this.
the Tanuki suit. When people think of Tanuki, that's
off.
like the only thing they know, right? Except you, apparently.
Except me. But the fact of the matter is, I'm a fucking spelling nerd, and Tanuki in the Mario games is spelt wrong.
Fucking whatever, that's a translation thing. So, this is a tale of survival. Fucking how does Mario get those suits?
skinning them alive. Yeah. How else?
Hey,
How else?
You know what? We're kind of back to PETA, because that was a thing for a while. They were like, oh, he's skinning raccoons. So, fucking this movie is all about, it's a tie-in with Nintendo. It's all about these fucking tanukis trying to survive as Mario has sent his brother out to skin them alive and shove them into tiny boxes so Mario can find them throughout his wacky world. You know why they're all so happy?
Because they just sacrificed the youngest one.
They got Mario.
Oh, shit. Yeah, guess what's under those fruits?
No, actually, you know what? Even better. They have the princess.
Oh, shit.
You know, you can't have massive nuts and not use them.
I was gonna say, like, because I mean, Mario's stopping at nothing. Like, he'll pop open a question block. He'll be like, "Oh God, why is there a fucking skinned raccoon in here?" And he's like, "You know what? I don't care if it gets me all up in Princess Peach's nonsense, and I'm put it on. I'll do what I gotta."
Get in Peach's peach.
Get in Peach's peach.
Oh God, this got fucking weird.
So nope, no, it's right where it's supposed to be. This is 100% how the movie goes. Is they caught Princess Peach, and they're like, you know what? If Mario's gonna skin us to get in her, then we're gonna get in her, and then we're gonna skin her, and we're gonna see how he likes it.
Oh God.
And that's how that movie ended, kids. Please find a synopsis so we can unscar people.
So, Pompoko, first paragraph of the plot. The story begins in late 1960s Japan. A group of tanuki are threatened by a gigantic suburban development project called New Tama in the Tama Hills on the outskirts of Tokyo. The development is cutting into their forest habitat and dividing their land. The story resumes in early 1990s Japan during the early years of the Heisei era. While limited living space and food decreasing every year, tanuki begin fighting among themselves for the diminishing resources. But at the urging of the matriarch Oroku, they decide to unify and stop the development. Holy shit, dude, my fucking original theory was like right on par with this shit.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, you hit the nail on the fucking head.
Yeah, okay, I'm just having fun with these crackpot ideas so people know. But like,
yeah,
I've there's only 3 or 4 Ghibli movies that I haven't actually watched yet. So I kind of get where these things go.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas I'm like, again, I've only seen like maybe, I'd say maximum, I've seen like maybe 8 or 9 Ghibli movies. Out of like, there's how many? There's like 30 now, isn't there?
I think there's 20 main movies, and then they have some shorter stuff.
Gotcha.
So like, I recently got Ocean Waves, which was a TV film from 1993. It's not included in the main list.
Okay, so then that thing's probably only like what, like maybe 45 minutes long?
72.
Well, fuck me, alright. So Jukebox has a better understanding of like the natural direction these movies tend to go. Just for, again, a quick disclaimer, Ghibli movies are very lighthearted for the most part. There are a couple that will fuck your day right up.
Grave of Fireflies.
But I was going to say Grave of Fireflies, like, you will cry. I haven't seen it. One day I'll watch it. I'll probably cry like a fucking man baby, but they get to you sometimes. There's some serious scenes, but for the most part, they're very lighthearted, and a good example of that is when we went to see The Wind Rises in theaters, the part where the main character and his girl, when they do get married, it at one point implies that they're making a baby, or trying at least, right? And Jukebox, I don't think you yelled, but audibly enough for like the 7 of us that went to see the movie for us to hear it, you're like, you're not implying sex in my Ghibli movies. No fucking way. Back that shit up. Like,
I honestly don't remember that. That is something I'd do.
It happened. I'll tell you right now, because I pissed myself laughing.
Well, it's not as bad as fucking... God, what's the one with Turbotastic? Wreck-It Ralph. It ends, and I just like... And then they all fucked.
Yeah, everybody in the theater shot you a bit of a look after that one.
Well, anyone within earshot.
Yeah.
It's kind of my thing. A movie
But
ends, and I'm just like, and then they all fucked.
Jukebox, they're all dead, though. They still fucked.
Yes. Zombie fucking.
Zombie fucking.
Oh, God.
Don't gotta worry about catching anything, because your cock falls off afterwards.
So, I think we need to wrap this up. But for everyone listening,
Yes.
the Ghibli movies we discussed, if you have any stories or experiences, or if maybe you saw the posters or the DVDs, what you thought they may have been, fucking tell us. Hit us up with that juicy crackpot theories.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, God, yeah.
And
If you enjoyed this,
I'm
fucking tell us and we'll do it again.
yeah, absolutely. I wanted to mention at the beginning of this episode, and I forgot because I was too hung up on my eventual rant about Dragon Quest. But I wanted to mention that Jukebox and I would love to do a video where we just talk about and discuss your guys' favorite games or your hidden gems, or specifically your hidden gems, I think was what we decided. Yeah. Or if you have a game mechanic you want us to elaborate on when we do Mechanics Workshop, then send us a tweet, comment on our Facebook page or YouTube, or...
Yeah, so hit us up with your favorite hidden gems, or a game mechanic that you think is very unique within gaming. So you can definitely YouTube comments, but you can tweet at us at games_podcast, or... you can post on our Facebook at Infinity Games Podcast.
Yep.
So, fucking...
Because we'd doing one of those videos would be the tits, I think. I think that'd be a lot of fun, just talking about a bunch of different hidden gems.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, definitely tweet us, comment, anything. Get a hold of us somehow and let us know about your hidden gems.
And with that, I am Jukebox Hero.
I'm KelryxsKing.
And this is the Infinity Games Podcast. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
So if you've been listening this far, you should subscribe to us. You can also find us on iTunes and the Google Play Store. Or, if you like, we have an RSS feed which you can subscribe to in your favorite reader. If you leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, we'll be sure to read your review on the show.